Hello and welcome to Senate Election Night 2018. Tonight, we have the Democratic Party aiming to regain control of the Senate versus the Republican Party, who currently has 51 seats. The Democratic Party has 49. Let's start off with the 7 p.m. poll closings. In Virginia, Tim Kaine will be re-elected in the Virginia Senate race. Coming out of Vermont, the independent who caucuses with the Democrats, Bernie Sanders. He will be re-elected to the Senate for another 6-year term. And out of Indiana's Senate race, Joe Donnelly is in the lead by a small margin, 0.2%, over his Republican challenger, Luke Messer. That's in Indiana's Senate race. And now we have our 7:30 p.m. poll closings at the bottom of the hour, West Virginia and Ohio. In West Virginia, Joe Manchin is currently leading his Republican challenger, Evan Jenkins. He is leading his Republican challenger, Evan Jenkins. Coming out of Ohio's Senate race, Sherrod Brown in a narrow lead over his Republican challenger, Jim Renacci, 0.3% lead there for Sherrod Brown in Ohio. Let's take a look at the race to control of the U.S. Senate. 25 Democrats to 42 Republicans. On the map, the black states are those states where there are no senators up for re-election. The white states means their polls are still open in certain parts of the state. The kind of grayish states are our battleground states. The blue states are those that we've projected to go to a Democrat. The yellow states are those that we've projected to go to an independent. And once we get some Republican states in, the red states will be those that go to the GOP. Let's please stand by for the 8 p.m. poll closings. In Massachusetts, Elizabeth Warren, the projected winner. We've got more wins. Out of Rhode Island, for Sheldon Whitehouse. In Connecticut, Chris Murphy, the projected winner. Coming out of New Jersey, Bob Menendez, the projected winner. Quite an old picture there, we do apologize. In Delaware, Tom Carper, the projected winner in Delaware. We've got metrics coming in from Maryland. Ben Cardin, the projected winner out of Maryland. In Mississippi, Roger Wicker, the projected winner. And out of Mississippi's special election, Cindy Hyde-Smith, the projected winner in Mississippi's special election. In Maine, Angus King will be re-elected for another 6-year term, the independent who caucuses with the Democrats. And taking a look at some too close to call states. In Tennessee, Marsha Blackburn is in the lead narrowly over the Democratic person, Phil Bredesen. Phil Bredesen is behind Marsha Blackburn. And in Missouri's Senate race, Claire McCaskill in a tiny lead over her Republican challenger, Josh Hawley. In Pennsylvania, Bob Casey is in a quite an impressive lead of about 9 points over his Republican challenger, Lou Barretta. He is in the lead. And in Florida, Bill Nelson is in the lead over his Republican challenger, Rick Scott. Taking a look at the race to control of the Senate, you need 51 to win. The Republicans actually only need 50 because they have Mike Pence. And the Democrats need 51. The GOP needs 50. The Democrats are at 32 seats to the GOP's 44. Let's stand by for the 9 p.m. poll closings. In Michigan, Debbie Stabenow, the projected winner in Michigan's Senate race. Coming out of Minnesota, Amy Klobuchar, the projected winner. We do apologize. Minnesota is not really correct there. In Minnesota's special election, Tina Smith, the projected winner. In New Mexico, Martin Heinrich, the projected winner. Coming out of New York, Kristen Gillibrand will go on for another 6-year term. And in West Virginia, Joe Manchin, previously too close to call, he will be re-elected for another 6-year term. In Pennsylvania, also previously too close to call, Bob Casey, the projected winner. In Nebraska, Deb Fischer will go on for another 6-year term representing Nebraska. And in Wyoming, the most conservative part of the United States, John Barrasso, the projected winner in Wyoming. In Wisconsin, Tammy Baldwin is in a very impressive lead, actually, a very impressive lead of almost 20 points over her Republican challenger, Kevin Nicholson. She is in the lead over her Republican challenger, Kevin Nicholson. And coming out of Arizona, a hotly contested seat, Kyrsten Sinema is in a slight lead over her Republican challenger, Martha McSally. And in North Dakota, possibly the closest state that we'll be watching all night, Heidi Heitkamp is in a narrow lead over her Republican challenger, Kevin Cramer. And taking a look at the race to control of the Senate, Democrats need 51, the GOP needs 50. The Democrats have 39 seats to the GOP's 46. There you see the race to control. As I already said, now we have a couple red states that are filling in for us. So the red states will go to the GOP, blue ones to the Democrats, and the grey states are too close to call. White states, their polls are still open. Stand by for the 10 p.m. poll closings. In Utah, Mitt Romney, the former 2012 presidential candidate, easily wins in Utah. It was originally considered a toss-up. However, once Mitt Romney ran, it is a safe GOP state. And coming out of Wisconsin, Tammy Baldwin, the projected winner, previously too close to call. Tammy Baldwin will go on for another 6-year term. In Montana, it is too close to call. Jon Tester in a lead over his Republican challenger, Matt Rosendale, very close in Montana. In Nevada, Jackie Rosen is in a lead over her Republican incumbent, Dean Heller. She is in the lead over the Republican incumbent, Dean Heller. Taking a look at the race to control of the Senate, we have 40 Democrats, 47 Republicans, and there are many battleground states that we are yet to fill in. Many, many battleground states in the race to control of the Senate. Stand by for the 11 p.m. Eastern Time poll closings. In California, Dianne Feinstein will go on for another 6-year term representing California. In Washington, Maria Cantwell, the projected winner in Washington. In Hawaii, Mazie Hirono is the projected winner in Hawaii's Senate race. In Florida, previously too close to call, however now we just got some more metrics in from the Palm Beach, Broward and Miami-Dade area. Bill Nelson will go on for another 6-year term in representing Florida. Taking a look at the race to control of the Senate, the Democrats have 44 safe seats to the GOP's 47. This is the race to control. Stand by for state calls at 11:30 p.m. Eastern. In Texas, Ted Cruz, the projected winner in Texas's Senate race, he will go on for another 6-year term, defeating Beto O'Rourke in Texas. In Nevada, Jackie Rosen will go on to defeat the Republican incumbent. The incumbent Republican, she will go on to defeat the Republican incumbent, Dean Heller. And taking a look at the race to control of the Senate, we have 48 Republicans, 45 Democrats in this race to control. There you see the map there, this race to control of the Senate. Stand by for state calls at 12:30 a.m. Eastern. In Montana, Jon Tester will go on for another 6-year term in Montana's Senate race. In Arizona, Kyrsten Sinema, the projected winner, she will go on. All these states are previously too close to call. She will go on for another 6-year term representing Arizona. In Ohio, this is a big swing state that we're calling. Sherrod Brown, the projected winner in Ohio's Senate race. Taking a look at the race to control of the Senate, 48-48, it's a tie. The states that will decide who wins control, well, the Democrats need 3 out of the 4 remaining states. They need 3 out of the following states: North Dakota, Missouri, Indiana, or Tennessee. They need 3 out of those states. The GOP only needs 2 out of those states. They need 2 out of the following states: North Dakota, Missouri, Tennessee, Indiana. This is very, very close, but let's just go through some experimental scenarios. Let's assume the Democrats win Indiana and Missouri. They've always been leaning towards winning there. That would put them at 50 Senate seats. So then the Democrats either need North Dakota or Tennessee to have the control. Let's go now. It's standby for 2 a.m. Eastern Time poll closings from Indiana, Missouri, and Tennessee. In Indiana, this is one of the most watched Senate seats of the night. Joe Donnelly defeating his Republican challenger in the great state of Indiana. In the next state, Missouri, this is another huge call. Claire McCaskill, the projected winner in Missouri's Senate race. Out of Tennessee, another very closely watched Senate seat, Marsha Blackburn, the projected winner in Tennessee's Senate race. And taking a look at the race to control of the Senate, there are 50 Democrats and 49 Republicans. The race has come down to one state, North Dakota. North Dakota will decide who will take control of the U.S. Senate. This is a very close thing, very close race, and it has come down to just a couple hundred votes in North Dakota who will decide if the GOP gets to pass legislation or not. In North Dakota right now, this is very intense for both parties as they will see who will take control of the U.S. Senate in North Dakota. It is too close to call still in North Dakota. Heidi Heitkamp in a tiny lead over her Republican challenger Kevin Cramer, but because it's a difference of 0.1%, there will be an automatic recount in North Dakota. Now, the recount has just finished in North Dakota, and in North Dakota, Heidi Heitkamp or Kevin Cramer is leading by 54 votes. You will see who will take control of the U.S. Senate by 54 votes in North Dakota. And in North Dakota, Heidi Heitkamp will go on for another 6-year term, which means that the Democratic Party will take control of the U.S. Senate. This is a very close race that we will take. The Democratic Party will take control of the U.S. Senate. That was an intense election night. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment down suggestions below, and I'll see you all in the next video. Till next time, fun election prediction.